How's it, motherfuckers? Let's get it on. I was coming across shit. Somebody sent me a link. They're like, oh man, you got to check out Tommy Yore. And then after that, I watched a little bit of it just to see who won. And then I saw that Tommy and Brandon won Worlds. I didn't know that for some reason. I probably knew that, but I did not know it. And then so I was hoping to get that match. So I typed in Brandon and Tommy foosball, and then this one came up. I don't think it's not Worlds, it's the Texas State Finals. So again, before we get into this is Inside Foos Productions. You have to subscribe, you have to like his shit, and ideally, if you are looking to get better, you want to buy his videos. I think there's a special on there. It's like $300 or $400 or something, and you get like every video of every match ever made. That is an insane deal. Like, how do you not just get that and get better? You have to. If you're a new player or even an expert and you're hungry and want to win at this game, you have to go buy that set just for the sheer knowledge, to be able to watch that and mimic your game off all the pro masters for defense, 5-bar, 2-bar, 3-bar, the series, learn different techniques, different strategies just from emulating the best players of all time. So cannot pimp Inside Foos Productions enough. So with that said, let's get to it.
Jim Stevens and Brad Anderson back with you. You're at the 2019 Texas State Championships as we've got a good one in open doubles down on table number 1. It's a semifinal in the winners bracket.
Oh my gosh, Brandon. Just foosball
That's
shirt.
Tommy Yore, the young superstar.
Co-pilot. Man up, man. You are the pilot. Everybody else is just along for the ride.
Out of Florida, his partner Brendan.
Ryan, let's see in the background. Got Ryan Moore. Do I recognize anybody else? I do not.
Moreland.
And I don't think we
on the left side and on
reacted
the right,
to Tommy, but we know he plays in
3 games out of 5. The winner
Florida with Tony,
and
I know his game is pretty similar to Tony's.
Gabriel. Tony with the first scoring opportunity takes advantage of it. Against Moreland, it's 1-0.
Goes middle. Let's check this out.
Takes advantage of the
This is your very first shot of the game. Do you want to take your time? Do you want a quick shoot? You know, when you're the best ever, you have so many different strategies of how you want to attack somebody. So let's just see. It looks like he took that middle pretty early on. And that's not even a huge middle. Like he is giving up all 3 holes, which means the middle's there, but it's not super big, which leads me to think that was his strategy. I'm going to come in, I'm going to shoot middle. He saw it, he took it. So very interesting. Pretty interesting defense there too. That's something that you're like, hey man, you want to get a feel for what he's doing, and you're just gonna give him the basic all 3 holes opening. I don't know, man. I do not know, Mr. Co-pilot, about that defense.
Scoring opportunity, takes advantage of it.
He's like wagging it after, like, I should have gone faster.
This should be fun, Brad Anderson, 4 really good players, 2 strong teams battling here on table 1, and we're even at 1.
Great shit. Let's check out the defense. What is your first thing? You want to identify the defense, see what's happening. It looks like T-Mac is doing a fast crossover. When I say fast crossover, I mean he is crossing it over, and then he's kind of coming back. He's not crossing it over and then giving you a pattern for a while, which you could time. So got to be smart, man. When somebody's crossing over a little bit faster, you got to be a little bit smarter on your defense.
Players, 2 strong teams battling here
definitely
on table
checking
1.
shit out. He's
Anderson,
probably dialed in
really
on a certain
players,
side.
2 strong teams battling here on table 1, and we're even at 1.
Oh, man.
As your.
Look at that. When he goes, and this is next level shit right here. Tracy's defender, and only people who go have a next level game will understand this, I think. Look at Tracy's man blocking the push side. He's blocking it. Like, he's like, no, man, I'm blocking this hole right here. But what does Tommy do? When you're really, really good, when you've got it going on, and we saw this with Matt McCrory's pull when he was shooting against, I think, Frank. He would aim at the guy even on the slightest emotions, or he would just aim at the guy, and you have the sixth sense of when you go, you just know that he's baiting you, or you know he's going to move. So it's like he's aiming at this guy. And we're going to check this out in slow motion. I know you're like, fuck, man, we just started. But it's all right, because we've got to look at different shit. We know he's going pull side. We know T-Mac is there. So let's see if he aims at his guy because he's anticipating movement from the pattern, or does T-Mac move and then he goes?
Battling here
Yeah,
on
man. It looks like,
teams. Battling.
yeah, man. That is just next level shit right there when you can do that. And your rollover guys will get there if you do it every single time. If you have a roller like his, or
Here on
Coley's
table
that can
one,
just
and we're
blow up
even at
holes
one
when you
as you're
see
able
it.
to convert.
You don't have any.
Well,
You
it's
don't
going to
favor
be fun again.
any
watching,
side or any holes.
Comparing Tommy Yore's game to Tony, they're so similar.
So dirty.
There are just a few little differences.
And there you go. I mean, first time he got the ball, Brandon gave him this very easy all three holes defense. I would expect a lot changing up, and he sort of did it in the beginnings, a crossover, and then he goes right back into this not moving. And Tony is just thinking like, oh, I went middle this time. I'm gonna pick this other side, wait for it to get huge. Oh, I don't even have to wait for it. It's already huge. I'll just go. So very easy shooting right there from Tony.
Well, neither player has missed yet. Tony 2 for 2 as he has given his team a 2-1 lead here in this opening game.
Look at the patience there.
And
Awesome. And look how he's doing the same. This is the same exact series Tony has. I mean, there's probably little intricacies that Tony has because he's been on tour a lot longer. But look at this. He tic-tacking back and forth, throws it to the wall just to get a read, just to throw Tony off. Like, hey, man, you cannot. I'm not going to let you race me. I'm going to fake it to the wall. Let's see how you react. Now you know I'm not going to pass all the time. This is very smart, next level shit. And then he just lulls him into sleep here, and just like Tony does, and he just unraceable wall pass. Tony doesn't even have a chance to react there because of the toss, because it's so just perfect, just back and forth, no wasted motion, taking his time, waiting for that hole. And this is very in contrast to that last match we watched with those I think it's Shannon Coley up front, kind of had the Tampa Bay tic-tac going, but he was passing 1 or 2 seconds every time, where it was a little bit easier to bait and understand what's going to happen, versus when you take your time for 10 seconds, really hard to to block that.
And along the outside wall goes Tommy.
Going to set it up. Last time he blasted a push.
And there's McMillan out there
after taking his time
to make the block and take it away.
Tried to quick shoot it.
I think if you're
just rushing it a little bit.
And you've played Tony Schridden before.
Yeah.
It's not a big stretch to use to the same strategies, or what, you know what to expect.
Oh man.
Tony Brademan has 15
decides
plus
to
years
take the
of
quick
experience
pass after working the clock.
Over Tommy Yore.
Oh man.
Tony out.
Let's check this shit out again. Gets it.
Experience.
And again, Brandon has not changed up. This is 3 possessions in a row. He has not changed up his defense at all. Tony is clearly dialed in.
Over Tommy Yore.
Check this out one more time.
15 plus
he
years
went
of experience.
middle, then he baited him for this,
Over
and
Tommy
now he's just like, oh, I'll take the quick, not baited. Then he took that easy pull side.
Tony out of experience. Over
Tommy. You're not going to give him anything to think about by changing up your pattern, your movement. You're not going to bring over the second guy. That's one of the easiest defenses to shoot on, especially if you got one of the best rollers. Sorry, it is, man.
And Tony now 3 for 3 here in this first game against Brandon Moreland.
And by the way, I'm not saying that's easy to get back there and block that, but you got to, you got to change it up every single time he gets it. You have to give him a different look when he's setting it up. So he has to pause and be like, oh, this is something different than last time. And we saw that again, going back to the last match with, I think it was Jeff Sorello, or God, I can't remember his last name, when he was blocking Coley. That dude had like a Pro Master 3-bar going on, but he was quick shooting, and Jeff was making it look easy blocking him, but it wasn't easy because he was just rotating defenses, rotating tempos, and he was giving Shannon different looks every single time he got the ball. And that's going to fuck you up. That's going to make you get bricked. That's going to make you have to sit on it and think about it and get that mental side of chess going. But you have to give them different looks every single time. And we got T-Mac back here shooting a push. Oh,
Brandon
I did not know he had a good push from the back.
I think he was second at
Brandon Going Big Daddy.
Brandon Moreland, who, especially in singles.
Look at Big Daddy. Looks like it hit off this guy. Came in there.
I think he was second at last year's Tornado World Championships. I believe he was second in Las Vegas this year as
We'll
well.
take it.
In singles. But has played well in doubles. In the finals already here this weekend in mixed doubles.
Again, check this little shit out right here.
This year as well. In singles.
Look at Tony. He like dribbles it, and then it stops, and then he fakes it a few times, and then he goes wall. He gets blocked, but I guarantee you, or I would bet you at some point else in the match, he's going to do that fake and do something other than the wall. Or he's going to do one fake and then go. But notice how he's like 3 or 4 fakes and then goes. Look.
But has played well in doubles.
1, 2,
in
3,
the finals
4.
already here this weekend in mixed doubles. Brandon having a heck of a year.
Awesome 5-row defense from Tommy. And we'll rewind this shit because we're here to learn. We're not here to commentate on the match. We get people all the time asking, well, how do we block good 5-rows? What is good 5-row D? And I have a video out there for how to have really, really good 5-row D, at least in terms of what I think it is. But let's check out Tommy's movements.
That has played well in doubles.
How do you block somebody who's using up the entire clock and can go anywhere unraceably? Well, you got to be random, but you got to make it look random, but it's not random. But look at his.
In the finals already here this weekend in mixed doubles.
On the wall, comes off,
Brandon
on the wall.
A heck of a year.
It's just this random, like Morse code.
Of course, Tommy Yore,
you're never in no man's land.
Whose future looks very bright. Tommy did not make the United States World Cup team. Nor did Brandon Moreland. And there's Tracy from goal.
T-Mac.
Did Tracy McMillan.
One of the best goalies of all time.
Tommy will be over in Murcia, Spain, to compete in the World Championship event. 4-2 lead early on.
I think Tommy Yore kind of faces the same situation that Tony's.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, he did the same exact shot last time, the little quick push. So this is my first time watching him, so I don't know what his game's like.
Everyone had when he first went to Europe to play.
Oh shit!
Especially on different tables, his style does not really translate all that well.
No,
to
but
some of the other tables. It's just a matter of, but you have to.
For sure. You have to adapt. And Tommy Yore.
You're going to have to find an effective game on the other tables besides what you normally would do.
Well, Tommy has played for the United States junior team on several occasions.
We know Tony's got an excellent.
Has competed on the other tables, and I think
zone
is a very good multi-table player, starting at a very young age. But he's been
going
to Europe to compete.
From the
first
wall.
time he was over there was
stud.
probably 6-8 years ago, competing for the United States junior team. And is a very good multi-table player. I thought he should have made the team.
Brandon.
Moreland probably should have as well.
I guess I should
Sweet
assume
pass.
that as
Is
good
there.
a multi-table player as his father is.
Yeah.
And probably has access to the other tables.
Right.
So he's going to get some practice time.
Tony, look to close out game
dirty.
number 1 right here. Boy, Tony Sprayham and Tracy McMillan have really looked good as a team. Moreland able to get a block and take it away here.
Finally able to get a block.
Brandon looking to pass.
I guess part of my point was simply that it's really tough to play his normal style of game on some of the other tables. You don't have.
Oh man, look at that fucking pass.
Tough to play
I mean, his whole series is this over here. We know he's got the hook, and all of a sudden this is like one of those passes, ace up your sleeve passes that you do not bust out until you really want a point. This is a big point. You let them back in it. Who knows? He's like, I want this first game.
Normal style.
Look at this pass.
Game on some of the other.
And he even did. He started off with that little fake, what we were just talking about.
My point was simply that it's really tough to play his normal style of.
He does the fake, and then he goes instant.
You don't have the reactive
3-2.
That you're
Super
used to on
sick.
Tornado and the speed.
The flat surface.
Shooting really well, but Brandon was on him that last time, so he's going to take a timeout.
His game to the other tables and does play differently. Obviously not doing the tic-tac, more of a stop ball passing style.
Brandon still has not changed up his defense yet, so we'll see what he gives them coming out of this.
Tony has become a very good multi-table player over the years.
I think we've
again, this is just my thoughts on it. There's a lot of goalies out there who don't change up their defense. There he goes. Goes on a crossover, but not a lot of them, so it's kind of the same defense. Very easy read.
This opening game as he fires that one home down the middle. It's 1-0.
That's why if you're patient, people will drift back into their normal shit.
As we open up game number 2. Tommy Yore passing it along that far wall, sets it up. Takes a look and then fires it home to make it 1-0. Tommy Yore is fearless. He is a hungry player. He wants to be great, much like Tony 20 years ago. Yes, it's almost 20 years ago that Tony really burst on the scene.
How crazy is it to have a dad who's one of the best players in the world ever? I mean, he deserves to be probably in the top 10, definitely top 15 of all time.
It's the hole down the middle here.
Oh my gosh, Brandon.
And a junior to play in at that time. It's the hole down the middle here. And the junior titles, 17 and under was called then.
Like, I wonder what kind of pressure we see Sullivan.
There's Yore making it 2-1.
You know, play a lot. She got really good.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's ever players that are just like, nah, Dad, I don't want to play that game.
Yeah, how about that?
I know you're great, but I don't want to play that game.
And stroking it home near side is Tony.
What the fuck?
Yeah, how about that?
Dude,
Stroking it.
Still, look at that defense. He has not changed up his tempo. He has not changed up the positioning. He's still giving him that standard. He might do the crossover in the beginning, but then it goes right back to this. And Tony is just having a field day, just alternating holes here.
3 future Hall of Famers and your son.
Brandon's just chasing them all around.
Who was a really good junior player. Well, at that point, may have been as good as anybody on that table.
Blocked Tony as well as anybody that weekend. But then he decided to have 4 kids.
Was Brandon on Tony's
story that we're not going to delve
into? Oh yeah, he was when we
Maybe
reacted to
we'll
him that one
about
time. I think he was playing.
Oh, nice block almost to grab and then put forward. 5-3 by Tommy. Try to come back to that near side. McMillan with the block. Tommy again. Strokes it down the middle.
And T-Mac's kind of giving up the same. Great switch there. I mean, that's a no-brainer switch.
The Tampa area is these days.
They got to get a block.
He's been thrown into the Shark Tank, and he's managed to bite back.
I bet he is very successful in that local scene.
Great corral.
Makes a nice save here as it comes back
Sniper
into the goal
back
area.
there.
They'll call timeout, bring Brandon Moreland back to goal. A 3-2 lead early on for Tommy Yore and Brandon Moreland. And taken away here by Tommy, who makes a nice grab on the 3-run.
A great steal. Not a good turnover, but great steal.
Shot attempt blocked up into the air and off.
Check out this D again.
Or shot attempt blocked up.
Yeah, that's good defense, but that's kind of a little like he is not taking his time. He's rushing it, and T-Mac gives him that first movement. He is not waiting for the open hole, at least this time. T-Mac fakes coming off and goes right back to the hole, and Tommy bites on this. Watch. Oh. He is waiting for that first movement, and T-Mac's. That's why you don't want to shoot in the first couple seconds. That's when like the big baits are there.
Or shot attempt blocked up
and
into
he's like,
the air and
I know it, man. You can tell. He's like, fuck. Why did I do that?
Seen Tracy McMillan shooting a push shot for the most part.
Because you're playing lights out, and that's a heat check.
I wasn't sure his arm actually went that direction.
Well, it has over the last few years, apparently. And more and more we've seen him shoot that from back there. I still enjoy watching him set up that pull shot back there.
2 turnovers in a row from T-Mac.
But he's versatile. And speaking of versatility,
let's check out that again. Oh, we see T-Mac. He's keeping his guys nice and loose. I'm not a fan of the reverse because of this, because like it let the slider, they'll let slop and shit come in there. Also, oh man, I like to do the standard in it, and then you got to know. But I was gonna say you got to know the left hook's coming, but you don't, man. This is what we talk about in hacking theory. We are, because he's doing the same setup, the same toss every single time. We say this exact fucking thing in the 5-bar hacking tutorial. It's not only lulling the 5-bar defender into what you want to do, it's lulling the goalie into relaxing to be like, hey man, this guy's just going to pass it. He's had what? Let's just say 15 possessions on the 5-row. He hasn't tried to hack, and all of a sudden he sees T-Mac within Big Dot, which is like a automatic pre-programmed shot. You see that defense just sitting before big dot, no matter which hook you want to throw out there, it's going to be 100% if you get past the 5-row. So that's outstanding. That's not bad from T-Mac. He's nice and loose back there. That's just him getting sucked into Tommy's series over here.
But he's
So
versatile.
this is, look at that.
And
Boom.
speaking of versatility, there is your.
Not even close to blocking it. And that's not bad on T-Mac. That's excellent. Excellent. Just series work from Tommy.
Attack,
Next level shit.
5-row, and it's 4-2.
Oh man, check that out.
It's 4-2.
Yeah, that's how you block people. I mean, that's how you gotta. This is the mental side of chess versus a lot of people, a lot of players we're watching. They're just doing a hodgepodge of passes. Look at Brandon's defense. We're gonna go back here.
It's 4-2.
He's on the wall like 90% of the time, but you can't just sit there. You got to come out just to make him think that. But he's like, no, man, you're gonna beat me. I'm gonna make you beat me with the lane or something different. And just by sitting on the wall for so long, it's just something different than what Tommy did. And Tony thinks, hey man, I'll go wall and he'll bail, and he doesn't. Gets the steal. Oh, I spoke too soon.
Spread him in.
Yeah, like he scores this, but look at Tommy's defense. Is that
Spread him in.
Is that easy to read?
That
I mean, kind of. It is because he's dialed in on that one hole, but that fucker was all over the place there. Random patterns, bringing in that second dude, something different.
Here for Tommy Yore.
I do think T-Mac's tempos has not changed much either.
A timeout.
He's bringing over different guys and he's crossing it over, but your speed's not changing. And I don't know, man. Sometimes it is easy to read if you're going to have a slow-moving defense like that.
Ball back into play, strokes it home. Strong second game performance from Tommy Yore.
Great. He has been taking his time. And this is what I'm saying, too. Remember that last match we watched where Coley passed it and immediately took the timeout? Like, he knew he wanted to take the timeout. He didn't even, like, set it up. So he gets the ball on the 3-row, and he waits, like, whatever. I think it was, like, 10, 15 seconds, and he calls timeout. Because if you know you're not going to shoot and you know you're going to be smart and take a timeout, let's let that goalie sweat. Let's get a really good read on what he wants to do. It's like he's showing you everything he's got in the book because he doesn't want you to score on him. And then you call timeout, and then you come up here, and now you're like, yep, I've got an excellent feel for what T-Mac's going to do because I just watched him for 15 seconds. I'm going to take the first opening. I'm not going to read his defense because I already know what he's going to do.
Puts the ball.
I see him, look at this. His guy's over here. I see that movement away from the hole, and because I know I'm going to take the first opening, it's 100% selection. Look at that.
The ball back in.
Comes off, pounds it. Excellent. Fucking excellent. That's not bad defense. That's just excellent series work. That is the 3-bar series. That's why you want to have a shot like a roller or a pull, and you're mixing up the timing. Same thing with the 5-bar.
In the play, strokes it.
Excellent.
Strong second game performance from Tommy Yore and Brandon Moreland as they win game number 2.
And you could see, like, not see, but you could tell. His dad's a pro master. He has probably taught him this shit. He probably just pounded the shit out of him doing this. And when you have a smart teacher, a smart mentor making you play like this, you're going to pick that up and you're going to start doing it second nature. And for as young as Tommy is and as new as he is to this level of foosball, he's going toe-to-toe with the best player in the world. And he's doing the same shit Tony is. He's mixing up his timing. Everything looks the same.
Here we go. Third game underway. Sprademan will have the first opportunity here in this game 3
Yes.
as he sets it up against Moreland and fires it back down the middle.
Man. A little bit of a different look.
Tony moving back. Brandon moving forward.
Still goes middle. And Tony getting serious about the block. I like it, man. He's not even going to mess around.
Going to grab it on the 5 and call time out.
They're playing switch the bitch.
Big crowd, as you can see, gathered here on table number. Ryan Moore, Kane Gabriel await the winners. You can see Kane sitting directly at the opposite end, watching this one, right next to his partner Ryan Moore.
Oh man, look at that great defense. But
Right
doesn't
over the
matter.
bounce pass.
And I don't even know how you read. I don't even know how you read that pass because he's on the lane. It's like you have to know. Okay, he's on the lane, so when I go to the wall, he's gonna dive to the wall, which that'll be there. And again, that's next level shit where you just get a feel for where your opponent's not gonna be. Boom.
Right with the bounce pass. To give his team a 2-0 lead and finds the back of the goal. Again, same strategy. Tony back, Tracy up.
I don't even see Copilot over there trying to change defenses.
I think Brandon needs to get a little more active on his defense back there, though.
Thank you. It's not just me nitpicking. It's not, man. Don't be a hater.
Tommy puts it into play quickly, goes along that far wall against the defensive 5 of McMillan, and then Tony Sprademan can't stop him as Tommy quickly fires it home to make it 2-1. Sprademan moving back to forward.
This is just
looks to get
offensive.
That 2-goal lead back, and he does.
What the fuck, man?
Sprademan moving back to forward.
Again, this is the same exact defense he gave them all first game. He's still giving this same tempo, all 3 holes defense. Tony's like, oh man, are you gonna keep giving this to me? I guess I'll go back to
that
this.
2-goal lead back, and he does as he fires it down the middle.
I've already seen it. I already know how to
shot
shoot
the
on
ball
it.
well
And
against
Brandon's
its former
laughing.
Texas
Like,
State is 5 times.
I don't know why he's laughing. I could not be like, what the fuck?
Moreland. See if York can answer.
Look at that patience.
And he does.
Oh, why are you the camera? The fucking camera coming off.
Tony back to forward.
Yep.
Just Yor back there.
Different shit. They
Makes
probably
the
play each
block.
other a lot.
Comes back
I would
to
expect
Tony.
Tommy to block him pretty good.
Sprademan aggressively walks it and strokes it home to the near side.
That's some serious ball handling right there.
Boy, the hand speed. The
Tony is treating
abilities of
both of them
Sprademan and
offensively
Yor
like
is
they're not even
phenomenal.
there.
Tommy. And there's Tracy with a block. Rebound spins back to Yor, who sets it up once again. And strokes it home.
Oh man, look at that fake.
Yor.
Watch him just pull T-Mac right off that. The dribble over here. He's been crushing some pushes, the middles, and couldn't get any bigger. Again, completely dominating the 3-bar series by changing up his timing and placement. And when you start dribbling it and you're going everywhere, oh man, that is not fun to block. Even Tony is nodding like, yep, I've been on the other end of that. That is a good shot.
On the left side.
I just got to play really good.
4-3 lead here in the 3rd game for Tony Sprademan and Tracy McMillan.
Oh man,
Tommy got a piece of that pass. It comes back to Brandon.
Yep, that was a great pass too. Again, look, check out this pass. Like, remember at the end of the first game, he had that ace up his sleeve pass. He did the tic tac, and then he did that 3 to the 2 pass. Same situation. This is an ace up your sleeve moment. You're up 4-3. You need this point. Look what he does here. The tic tac off the wall, brush down. He has not done that at all. It looks completely different. I don't even know how Tommy blocked this. Look at this. Off the wall. And this is after pounding, like crushing some off the wall lane passes. All of a sudden he does off the wall, back down to the wall. I don't know how Tommy blocked this. I mean, maybe because they played a lot. I don't know. But again, that is an ace up your sleeve. I need this pass right now. I know I can do it. And it didn't work, but that's not, we're not talking about that. We're talking about philosophy here. This is why we see a lot of players, they're just throwing out all their passes. No, man, you use the series, you can have a shit ton of passes, but you just need to milk like 2 or 3 of them, and then every now and then you throw out your option. What Tony just did. It didn't go in, but that's a crafty little option, the same way he did it that first game. So, excellent. Like, that's next level master shit. You hide your shit. You don't bust out your shit the first game or two. in pickup games. You never show your shit in pickup games.
And Tommy got a piece of
You
that
do it when you
pass. It
need
comes
it.
back to Brandon. Moreland up the table. It trickles through to the 3-rod of Yore. And he fires it back down.
Oh, man. And I think T-Mac is kind of doing what Brandon is doing in the sense that his tempo is not changing and his patterns aren't changing. He's not as one-dimensional right now in terms of never crossing over, but man, when he does cross over, it sure is pretty easy to read what the motions are. And especially when you get that little hitch, you know the middle's there, and it's like you're giving that hitch just to drive home the point that he needs to freeze out on the pull side. So, elite shit happening right now.
And Tony can't connect on the pass. But picked up here by Moreland.
2 passes. They were up.
Despite the fact that Tony Sprayman shot extremely well, has played very well. Tommy has hung right there with him.
Oh.
We are even at 4 here in the third game, tied up at a game apiece.
Come on, co-pilot. I mean, I've been kind of a little tough on your defense, but this is where this is what Tommy brought you in for. He didn't bring you in for your defense. He brought you in for your 2-bar. Let's see what happens.
See if Brandon can make an impact here.
Oh,
and a great
went for
lesson.
the pull kick.
Yore.
Holy shit. What a fucking grab. Yeah, man. Good clear and an insane grab by Tommy.
Looking for a third game win, Tommy Yore.
Yeah, man.
Strokes it home far side. It's 2 games to
that is Oh, man. That is a tough fucking shot to block. It's just like Tony's. This is not a rollover here. I mean, it is. This is not blocking a rollover. This is like blocking a front pin because they're doing these fakes and then they're seeing how you're reacting and then they're going. And that's not a rollover. So I can sit here and say, oh man, it's easy to block this and that. It's not, because it's not a normal rollover shot. And we see this right now. He does this little tap. And he knows, like, hey, man, I just probably know from experience, when you tap over here, they're not going to sit way to the deep hole. But I have it, and I'll go there.
Strokes it home far side. It's 2 games to 1.
I think Tracy's got to change up his defense. So he's using this.
There's no look of fear in Tommy right now. And I think Tony knows it. Like, he's sighing. He's not looking at his opponent. Like, we see sometimes when players maybe aren't worthy of Tony, and he's like looking at him, like we saw that with like Fernando, and he's just like looking up at him, like, oh man, you afraid? You should be. And he is not looking at Tommy much. He's just like in his own zone, and not in a bad way. This is him saying, I finally got some competition other than Ryan Moore. I finally am going to have to play really, really good now. And look at him. That's what I do. It's like you're just taking that breath to center yourself to be like, hey man, I gotta just do my thing. Fantastic, just collecting himself right there, and it's scary too. Not even scary. What's the word? This is just such an offensive game. This is nothing Tony's doing wrong. He is playing fucking out of his mind. He is teeing off on both of them, and he's still losing. Or not even losing, but he's still going heads up with Tommy because Tommy's doing the same thing.
Against Tony is to post up that.
Or Ryan and Kane are like, fuck man, we need to come up with a game plan because they're both playing really, really good.
2-rod on the pull side.
I'll be curious to know who won the next match, Ryan and Kane versus whoever wins this one.
Kind of bob off once in a while and basically make him shoot 1/2 of the goal.
Yeah.
And just kind of bob off once in a while and basically make him shoot 1/2 of the goal.
Yeah.
And Tommy Yore's done a great job of waiting Tracy out so he comes off that pull side.
Oh, Brandon. Yep. You could just see it. Like, there's nothing about this defense that has changed. The tempo, the placement. I mean, look at that.
Comes off that pull side.
I'll just pick a hole. They'll all be there.
His red hot shooting, getting his team on the scoreboard first here in the 4th. Back comes Yore, who has matched Tony.
Holy shit, man! Look how big, look how big that hole is. I mean, at least give it up to T-Mac. I mean, he's not really changing his shit either. But at least he fully committed on the side that he wanted to block. And I've been there. I'm not dogging anybody here. The first time I ever played Tony, I looked like that. I was giving him different defenses every time, but he was still just like, "Oh, you're giving me that? I've seen it. You're gonna give me that? I've seen it." And it did not go well for me. But yeah, man, I think if I'm in this match, I don't. This is just me spitballing again. This is what we do here. If we're these goalies and we're playing somebody who is teeing off on us, what do we do here? One, I think they both had the right idea in terms of let's switch. Like, get me out of here. Switch the bitch. Just get me out of here. But the other part is you have to have a plan. You have to commit to a couple different plans. And we haven't seen that from T-Mac or Brandon here. We haven't seen Brandon start with like a shuffle and forcing one hole and over just say like, nope, I'm only going to give you this one hole. And now I'll start, now that I know you know that I'm going to give you this hole, now we can start doing the guessing game chess match. I might start doing that instead of chasing him all over and letting Tony just pick whatever hole he wants. And the same thing with T-Mac. You got to, while T-Mac's kind of switching up his men here and there, he's trying to be too smart, and that Tommy is not having it. Tommy is outthinking you. He's faster than you, and when you got that rollover with the fakes, T-Mac right now at least is ill-equipped to handle this shot. So how do you do that? How do you block somebody who can't be blocked? There's no stopping what can be stopped. There is, man. It's not fucking Predator. These are people just like us. Are you saying no, man? They are so smart. I am incapable of outthinking them. Is that what you guys are saying? Not me, man. There's a strategy out there. You just got to figure it out. There's there's no way somebody should be drilling you this bad for 3 games straight. Like one game, okay, if you're changing up your defense. But at this point, you're not changing up your defense, your tempos, and you're still getting drilled. No, man. You have to have different defenses in your bag. And again, this is why you have to go watch. This is why you not just have to watch, you have to go buy. You have to go buy Inside Foosball videos, and you go straight to Robbie Mares against Tony Spreeman. And you just watch all of his matches to look at the defense that Robbie gives. And we saw that when Robbie and Terry Rue beat Tony for the world title. We saw Robbie lock up Tony. And how did he do that? Well, he was doing it with a lot of crossovers, a lot of baiting, just fast hands. He was just doing next level shit on in goal. And that's what you have to do against next level players. You can't give them this rookie defense. And you cannot have this one defense over here that T-Mac's doing where it might be smart and the occasional crossover, but ultimately it's one dimensional too. Like he has been figured out. Like it's good defense, but he's been figured out. Like maybe you keep the same defense, but you go faster, or you keep the same defense with one guy and you make the other guys go slower, or whatever. You bring in that second man. You have to do something different. But you can't just do it and say like, well, I'm doing something different. It's not working. No, man, you have to master a bunch of different defenses. And again, this goes back to my video on whatever defenses. I don't even know what fucking video it is. I had so many. This is why just because you're blocking somebody really well, you got to throw in something different. Like, especially in pickup games, like force yourself to. I think this was playing to get better versus playing to win. Force yourself to go into a tournament using a defense that you don't know how to do. You're going to get drilled, but over the end of the night, by the end of the night or the next week or two, you're going to master that new defense. And then you go to a different defense. And then you go to a different one. And then you start combining them. Every couple seconds, you start switching these ones that you've already mastered. These guys aren't switching anything up. Oh, FooserX, what do you know? You're not a pro master. I don't know, man. I could fucking sit back there and get scored on 100% just like Brandon. So don't tell me that I could not win a world title or place in the cash with one of these dudes.
Pass for pass, shot for shot, it's 1-1.
Good shit, man.
Wow.
This is great discussion here. This is why some people, man, I'm gonna get some good controversy on this, but it's all right, man. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not one of these players. Ah, man, you do not, you do not have to win a world title to know some of this shit. I would not be able to tee off offensively, but I'm pretty sure I would start making adjustments. And if I didn't, if I did not make, if I was still getting scored on this after all this time, I would at least be changing up and then getting scored on. But we don't even have these guys changing up their defense. So that's what I'm picking on here.
Exhibition of offensive foosball by these two
Yeah.
forwards.
There he goes, bringing in that second dude.
And Tony.
But not fast enough. Not.
All right.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, what do I got to do next? I brought over that second dude. You did, man. But look at that. You bring it over, but you're not crossing over. You're not active. Same tempo.
Takes his turn.
Same patterns, like in terms of covering up the hole. Oh, man.
McMillan defending on the 5 as Tommy puts it into play. Goes through the lane, grabs it, sets it. Will shoot against Tony Sprademan.
There you go. Completely different defense. And it's not even a tricky defense, is it? Look at Tony's defense. He is doing the shuffle, and he's like slowly moving in and out of certain holes. It is not an easy shuffle to beat, but it's something different. Look, hey man, I'm showing you this, and then I will start slowly drifting out to block it. But because I'm going in the fast shuffle, it is disguised very, very well. I get the block. Just something completely different. And you mix that in with your normal defense. That's what you got to do. So
to block it and take it away.
Man. I was say for the most part, it seems like the defense in this game has
turnover. Going to try something different again.
Another chance here for Tommy.
Look at that, just different.
A lot of offense.
But Tony with a block, maybe the first time.
And why is Tony such a good goalie when he never plays goalie? Well, because he knows what he doesn't want to shoot on. Not only does he play Tommy a lot and understand how to block him, he knows what he does not like to shoot on, and that is people being random, changing up their shit, giving him the shuffle, and that's what he does to Tommy, and that's why he's getting 2 blocks in a row.
All match that Tommy has been blocked 2 in a row, Tracy.
So don't tell me that, no man, you never played these guys. Like you would get lit up too. No man, you just have to have the knowledge that Tony does. Hey, I gotta change shit up. I gotta do something different. Just like the Jeff Cirillo guy and Matt McQuarrie, when he got back there, he was changing shit up every single different possession. It looked different.
It on the 5 and calls timeout to bring Tony back to forward.
Hey man, why don't you try doing this? Just show him a different look. All right. It's funny because he is the captain of the ship versus when he is playing with Gummison, T-Mac's the captain. And now Tony is just like, dude, you got to do this. You got to do this. Oh, okay. What do I need to do here? Okay.
2-1 lead for Tony Sprademan and Tracy McMillan here in game number 4. They trail 2-1 as Tony puts it back into play on the 5. Try to pass it down the middle. Yore with the block. Tony again looking to advance it 5-3. Along the wall, Tommy there. That one's going to spin to a stop, which means Tommy Yore will put it back into play. See Tony defending with the right hand. I don't see that very often.
Same thing, very random. Oh man, Tony. Like this is the exact same passes. Look at this. This is almost an impossible pass to block unless you're waiting for it. He has not used this the entire match. Tic-tacking off the wall, way up high, brush down. How do you not follow that ball to the lane? Look at that. Pass from up here down to the wall. Unstoppable. Now Tony's just like, fuck, man. That's what it's like for people to block me.
But he has not had an answer for Tommy. 5 and 3 have both been sensational. He'll shoot against Tracy McMillan once again here.
Yep. And credit to T-Mac right here. He's going a little bit faster. Probably what Tony told him. Hey, man, bring over this third guy. Go a little bit longer on your movements. He's still not going fast enough. He's not going fast like Tony did. And I think that is the difference here. When you're going fast, it's a little bit harder to read. It becomes more of a guess. Again, because that's what you want our opponents to do. On the 5 and 3, you want them to guess. I mean, ideally, you want to bait them into shit. But at the bare minimum, you're just like, all right, you got to just guess because you're not going to guess right every single time. And so we'll check out this because he gets the ball. We see sort of the same movement, right? Not really. Look, this is way more. It's like he's trying to emulate what Tony told him to do, but the movement is much slower. He's able to see the holes a lot easier. So we'll see. It is something different though than what T-Mac has been doing.
York.
Yep, and that was the right pick there.
Down, up and back, and grabbed again on the 3-rod by Tommy. Good strokes.
Yep. He's not. He's trying to do what I just said again. He is trying to do what Tony told him to do, but he's not doing it. He is not being random. He's just going right in this pattern. And because Tommy has the discipline to sit on it and identify what's happening, he's like, oh, that's the defense you're going to give me? Let me go through my Rolodex. This is how you shoot on it. You pick a corner and you pick whichever side opens up the most.
Rod by Tommy.
Oh, looks like this side is open up. I'll just pick a corner.
Strokes it home to that near side.
Yeah, man. This is no-brainer shit right here. This is... It looks like... God, what the fuck? I'm just kind of stumbling over my words here because I'm just so bamboozled, come dumpster founded at how easy Tommy and Tony are making this game look. This game could not look any easier if you picked that guy and put him in goal, or this guy, or that guy, or this guy over here who's never played before and he's like part of the cleanup crew. You put him in goal, this is what you're going to get. You would not have any different results. And these are Pro Master World Championship players going on here. And I just befuddled at
2-2.
How easy they are making it look. And I got to say, man, right now, it looks fucking easy. These defenses look fucking easy to shoot on. They do not look hard.
But you see, Tracy's changed that defense. He's gotten a lot more active and
exactly what I just said, Dylan.
Yeah. Pulling in that third man just to throw.
Love Brad, by the way. I wish I still toured. Super great guy.
Sprayed him in, rimmed that one off that near post.
Got a block. I want to replay this to see how he got a block. Well, a couple crossovers.
Sprayed him in, rimmed that one off that near post.
Wow.
Yeah.
Angled up the table by Moreland.
Hit the corner.
Comes all the way back to Brandon. 2-1 lead for Tommy Yore and Brandon Moreland. It has been an incredible performance so far from the two forwards. The two goalies have kind of been rocked back on their heels, both sides of the table. We're talking about two of the best goalies, really, in the history of Tornado foosball.
Nope.
Brandon Moreland and Tracy McMillan.
Two of the best goalies in the history of foosball. Maybe T-Mac. And I love me some Brandon. I do, man. He one of the nicest dudes ever. Is he one of the best goalies? I don't know, man. Post a link to a match where I could see some amazing skill. I don't know. Oh man, I'm gonna get some fucking haters. Look at that.
Near corner.
Teeing off.
Well, you know, Tony loves it.
He's just like, oh God, I'm glad I'm playing with Tommy here.
A block here by Tracy.
I think overall that defensive switch has been effective here. Just giving him a little more to think about.
I guess when I'm thinking of like best goalies ever, there's no knock on either one of those. It's just like as a rollover shooter, like knowing what I can do, knowing what I'm used to doing, or what I did when I was a pro. What defenses do I not like to shoot on? That's what I'm looking at, and I'm looking at these defenses like I don't think these are hard defenses. I look at when Tommy and Tony got back there for blocking it, I'm like, fuck, that is a tough defense to shoot on. When I see Robbie's defense, I'm like, oh man, that is not an easy defense to shoot on. So that's what I'm talking about. not talking about anybody not being one of the best ever. They absolutely are some of the best players in the world here. I mean, we are nitpicking the greatest of the great here. So it's like saying, no, man, Scottie Pippen does not need to be in the top 50 of all time. You're nitpicking great players.
That one's going to be grabbed on the 5 by Tony, who takes it across the table. Goes back along the wall.
Super dirty.
Using Tommy's defensive speed against him. Spreadman. Fires it home near side.
It looks like Brandon did make a tiny adjustment, just not enough. And Tony recognized that. He's like, oh, you're moving a little bit faster for a second. It looks a little different. You're not in that same kind of rhythmic defense. I'm going to wait a little bit on it. I'll do a hitch and see what happens, and I'll blast it.
Phenomenal that Tony's shooting, has to be shooting better than 80% for the match, and it's down in the match 2-1, although now just a goal away from sending it to a 5th and final game. This is McMillan.
Oh, T-Mac. Turnover Mac.
Yore. Hammers it home far side.
Again, he is trying to do what Tony did, but look at this easy pattern. This is not Tony's defense. He's just, you're not crossing over, you're going a little bit slower, and Tommy's just dialed in on that hole, waiting till the movement gets right. So not tough.
Hammers it home far side.
And when I say not tough, I don't mean anybody could do this. I mean, it's really easy to sit up here.
4-3.
And we're just seeing it through their eyes.
Has Tommy had more possessions in the match than Tony?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good steal.
If nothing else, I think Tommy has more blocks on Tony's fry rod, which is, I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. But he's managed to disrupt enough of his passes where he has more possession.
Big B.
Orleans pull kick blocked by Tony, but it trickles to the 5 of Yore. Tommy along the wall. There's
steal.
Tony to block it and take it away.
See our theme of the
We're
week.
Gonna get an ace up your sleeve pass or just back to basics. Yep, back to basics, man.
Chance to send it to game number 5 here for Tony Spreadman, and he does.
Boom.
Spreadman and
Same
McMillan
thing, man. That is the same
Tony
defense
Spreadman.
as the first ball, the same shot as the first ball, the first game. I don't understand it, man.
McMillan respond here in game number 4.
I hate it, man.
5-3 to send it down
Come on,
to one
Brandon.
final game to see who would face Ryan Moore and King Gabriel in the winner's bracket final.
Yeah.
Here we go. 5th game underway. Put into play and immediately passed through by Yore. Tommy looking for the first goal of game number 5 as he sets it up against McMillan and strokes it home deep to that.
Again, this is just excellent offense. I mean, he is trying something different, but Tommy is working the entire goal. You know, when you're buzzing it, you just pick the corner. He pounded that push side this last time. This time he just waits for that pull side to get nice and juicy.
The first goal of game number 5 as he sets it up against McMillan and strokes it home deep to that near corner. It's 1-0.
I think Kane is like, oh man, I do not want to have to block that.
It's interesting just to kind of compare to see how well he has managed to.
I would be doing more switch the bitch.
And he's awfully close. I mean, they do a few things different, but not much.
It's 1-1.
The look up to Brandon, like, oh man, can you give me something a little bit challenging? But although I don't know how he's reading this middle here.
He's awfully close. I mean, they do a few things different.
I don't know how you read that middle. Was that a middle?
Take on Tony's game here, and he's awfully close. I mean, they do a few things different.
Yeah.
Not much.
It's 1-1 as Tony finds the back of the goal in early 5th game.
I love the look from Tony. That is the visual recoil.
The bounce pass on.
Yeah,
Tony's
this is what they need to be doing, man.
For the lead.
Like
Tommy again to that near corner. He'll shoot against
check
Tony
this
now
out.
looking for the lead. Tommy again to that near corner.
Oh man, I'm gonna go slow motion just so I could appreciate the read.
For the lead.
Oh tough. He definitely dialed in on that hole. He's he's dialed in on the hole. He's dialed on this guy. Tony comes off. He goes, and yeah, he's dialed in on this hole. He sees Tony come off, and Tony kind of comes over there with this. But then when he goes, Tony reverses, trying to chase it. It's just too fast. Tommy's too fast. Comes off it. Tommy pulls the trigger, and he is just fucking fired up.
Again to that near corner. Same.
I'm gonna pause this here because we're just getting good shit going on. But God, what was the conversation? Who posted something? Would you pay? I think it was like, how much would you pay to play with Tommy or Ryan or one of those best players? And somebody got on there and was like, a lot of people, I think it was Ray. Ray got on there. I would not pay anything to play with any of those players. I'm not going to be a fucking backpack. And I was like, oh man, I pay $1,000, whatever, maybe $2,000. And Ryan got on there and was like, hey man, if that's your dream to play with somebody, why wouldn't you do whatever you could to achieve your dream? And people got on there saying, oh, you're buying a title. Yeah, man. I was a Mark Madej, a couple other people. You're buying a title if you pay to play with one of these players. Really? You're buying the opportunity, but you're earning that title. Are you going to mean to tell me if this was the finals and you put up a performance like either of these goalies here where you're getting drilled like 90%, they're earning their title? How, like, what's the difference? Is there a difference between just because somebody asks you, you're still earning you would still earn that. So I'm not going to be embarrassed to say, if I was practicing a shit ton and super into foosball and had 100% confidence in my game, that I'd be okay dropping $1,000 or $2,000 to play with one of these top players. I don't have a problem with that. And it'd probably be tough to get criticized if you did win, but fuck it, man. You're earning, every one of these players are earning their spot here.
Strategy employed on the left side.
I could count on one hand Brandon's blocks on the 5 and the 3 together for 5 games.
Sprayman returning to forward.
Look at that defense. Look at the difference of this defense compared to T-Mac's or Brandon's. This is the shit we get from Kuwait foosball. Like, very, very active, very fast. There's no. Look at that. You're picking a hole and then you're stopping for a second or two and then you're going.
And fires in home far
I mean,
side.
he's still scoring, and he's still scoring. So you can't say like, oh, he scored anyways. Look at that fucking defense. You're scoring, but because it's fast and you read it right and you're dialed in on one hole. He's dialed in on the pull side or the push side. He sees the movement where he's buzzing.
Walks it.
This is more of a guess than versus like, oh, I see easy holes being covered up here and there. You have to master all different types of defenses, and you have to be able to throw this out there.
And fires in home far side.
Good shit. I mean, that's just fuck, dude. To be able to shift gears from or shooting on Brandon, and then he just switches gears to shooting on Tommy and that defense. This is why he's the #1 player of all time. Look at him again. Deep breaths. Like, fuck, man. I got my work cut out for me. Yes, you do.
Absolutely all about the forwards. I really the goalies on either side of the table just simply have not been factors.
Yep. I mean, that is what they're saying. They are way nicer than I am. They are non-factors. Very PC way of saying
This is
it.
McMillan defending against yours.
I am saying step the fuck up and make an adjustment. You got 5 fucking games and you can't make an adjustment? You kidding?
Tied up at 2 here in the 5th.
There you go. Look at T-Mac. Look, this is a little bit different. There he goes. That's the speed, and then he's gonna. There he goes, and he gets the fucking block.
He's able to reach out and grab that.
Oh, I'm over here giving props to T-Mac, making the adjustment And now his defense looks all like nasty, and then it's not even T-Mac back there, it's Tony. Holy shit, that's fucking hysterical. Look, T-Mac is capable of learning how to do this awesome defense. Look, that's all you need to do, and you get the block. Oh, it's not even T-Mac, it's Tony.
Rebound and call timeout to bring
He's
Tracy
like, that's how you
back
do it.
to goal.
Is it that hard, Mr. Mac? Move your fucking guys like this. And it's funny too. Keep your same defensive philosophy. The same holes you want to bait and shit. You just go a whole lot faster to make the defense that much harder to read.
Tracy McMillan returns to the goalie position and puts the ball back into play. Still 2-2 here in the fifth.
Come on, Mr. Mac. Where'd your 2-bar go to, man? The pull, I mean.
Shot attempt blocked by Tommy,
Oh,
and then
man,
eventually
another
snapped by
turnover.
Tommy with a 3.
Can't have that.
Aggressively grabbing that ball on the pin.
Oh
Takes it
shit,
to that far
man!
side
Look
and
at
flips it
that! Holy shit! Picks the right hole. So huge and juicy. He hits the wall.
Aggressively grabbing
And
that ball
look
on
how
the
he
pin.
grabs it.
Tried to take it
He doesn't even like.
out to that far.
Yeah, man. Aggressive grab. That is like. I am fired the fuck up, man. I will not be
Side
stopped.
and
That's
flips
an
it
I
over
will
to
not be
grab the
stopped
rebound
grab.
After Tracy got a
Like,
piece.
that is sending a message to Tony. You know, like recoils send a message. His grab, and I don't even think I've seen it before. That grab just is sending a message to Tony, like, dude, I am not afraid of you. It is my time.
The effort to that far corner. Tommy again will set it up, looking for the lead
Taking his
here in the fifth
time.
game. And he finds it.
Easy read, man.
Going back to that far corner.
Look at this. This is the same
Effort
defense
to
we
that far
see.
corner.
The easy
Tommy again will
crossover.
set it up, looking for the lead here in the fifth game.
He just waits. He waits for the crossover push side, and he waits for him to move, and then he goes. Is this horrible defense? No, it's not horrible. Nobody's that's horrible defense. This is not bad defense. It's just you can't give them the same defense for 5 games. And what Tommy is doing, he's waiting so long. He's waiting out the baits. He's waiting out T-Mac giving different shit up. And the longer you wait, the easier defenses are to shoot on. And that is what Tommy's waiting on. Sees that here, and then he goes. And I would not be surprised one bit if he did a quick shot next time. And not by, when I say quick, I don't mean just dumb quick. I mean just on the first opening, because he has been taking his time for so long.
And he finds it, going back to that far corner.
Fucking lights out.
Tony through the lane.
Dirty. There you go, Brandon. That is, yeah, that's something different from Brandon. Oh, what a surprise! You do something different and you got a block. This whole game, kind of like in the standard, very easy tempo, very slow, like back and forth tempo, never really stopping, never fast movements to kind of like fuck with your head. And all of a sudden we're getting crossovers. He's stopping on a hole right there. Oh, look at that. Tony's like, oh, I got huge openings, but because I haven't seen this before, I am unable to pull the trigger because this is not what I've been used to seeing. So give it up to Brandon for 5th game when it counts, throws Tony a fucking curveball that just the bottom drops out of it. And Tony's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? You've been giving me that easy fucking beginner defense for 4.5 games, and all of a sudden when it counts, you're going to like give me some serious defense? Fuck you. Outstanding defense. I feel like that is the play of the game right there. To be able to just shift gears and be like, you know what? I need to man up and help my partner out. Huge block. I mean, absolutely a monster block. You let Tony tie it up there. It's back to 3-3, but now you have a chance to go up. Fantastic playing, man. And I'm glad, because I did not like coming down on Mr. Moreland.
Issue with the grip, perhaps.
And by the way, if you want to learn how to get scored on like this, you could do Foos by Brandon. I think it's very reasonable rates here. Good shit, man.
Write down the time and date on it.
I'm joking, guys. Everybody knows that I'm joking. Brandon is one of the best players in the world. Him and Tony both. They do individual coaching sessions to teach this shit, especially the mechanics, how to play this game at world-class levels. So if you're a new player, if you're an average player, if you are just playing this game and you're hungry, it cannot hurt to get a session or two from these dudes. And in fact, it'd probably be mandatory, if nothing else, to network, to start just picking their brains, to be friends with these guys, but really to have these type of players help you out with your game. Yeah, man. And again, to not even just offensively. Hey, Brandon, I was watching that game, the finals match of winners Texas State doubles, whatever, and I noticed you were getting scored on. What happened that last game where you all of a sudden changed up your defense? Like, what did you need to do? What was your mind frame? I would love to hear it. How do you go 4.5 games without changing, and then all of a sudden you have it in you to change? Like, what did you do? Not that you do anything bad, but hey, man, that's something that we need to adopt earlier in the match.
Yeah, well, that almost never happens.
Shout out to Rob Atha watching in.
Look at this, excellent. He had thrown a couple straight lane passes, kind of quick. I mean, this is not even the same fucking goalie. I don't know. If I couldn't see who was back there, I would think Tommy's back there, because Brandon this whole game has been kind of quick on the 2-bar, predictable on the goal, and all of a sudden he's throwing up the different defense, and now all of a sudden look at him take his time on the 2-bar. He's dragging it over a couple times. Look at this, setting it up.
Write down the time and date on that one.
Looking at the defense, going to drag it over. Let me see if that pull kick's there, because we know Brandon has one of the best pull kicks out there. But you got to know that Tony knows that, so
shout out to Rob Atha.
Brings it over again. Very smart.
Shout out to Florida man, Martin Grimes as well.
This is a different to Brandon. He is all fun and games, laughing this whole match, while he's bent over the table by Tony. And now when he's serious, there is no laughing on that face right there. Nope. Look at that.
Match. You're on table number 1 of Battle of the Four.
Look at that. I love fucking body language just as much as watching foosball. Both matches we reacted to with Brandon, he is funsy, having fun, and now all of a sudden, like, Mr. Co-Pilot's like, nope, I will take over for you, Maverick. Let me earn my keep here.
Shout out to Florida.
This is shit that not everybody could do. Where I'm like, I could get in there and throw in a couple blocks, this and that. This is to have the mental fortitude to just be tough, make your adjustments, and then all of a sudden get the confidence to be like, oh, wait a second, I am a badass. Like, I am one of the best players on the planet. I am capable of beating anybody.
Florida man, Martin Grimes as well. Nice to have you guys on board watching.
Man.
What has
0 laughs coming from Brandon right now.
You're on table number 1.
And Tony's just like, fuck. I had a chance, and I missed it. But is that bad from Tony? No. You shoot like 90%, you cannot be mad that you missed one shot. You can't, man.
The most talented forwards the sport has ever seen, of course, Tony Sprayman and young Tommy.
You just got to get a goalie who has specialized in blocking Tommy now.
Doing it well.
Was it Eric Welter? We noticed, I think Tommy played with Eric to slow down Tony. Tony's got to he's got to find goalies that are really good at getting into Tommy's head. Oh, and you wanted the name of a good goalie who knows how to block Tommy? Fucking Rick Reese. Yep, I said it.
Right now, it's Yore and Moreland leading 3-2 here in the 5th game.
Oh, man. Almost did something crazy.
That one up the table, boy. Yore really hustled.
Did he fucking try a slingshot? What the fuck? I don't know what happened.
That one up the table, boy. Yore really hustled after that to try to grab it, but it gets through to McMillan.
Maybe feeling the heat. Probably laughing about that one, huh? T-Mac taking his time.
Tracy fires
oh man, fucking
the block.
Drops out.
Tracy fires that
the
one
long.
over
Brandon
the block.
Slides out there. Let's check it out.
Tracy fires that
Oh,
one on
man.
goal. Moreland with a block.
Fantastic block.
I like to see more of that. I'd be curious to know what Tracy's strategy is going with the push shot for the
Yep. Exactly. I mean, we called that early on. Why are you not dropping your pull?
primary shot for this match.
Oh man,
Moreland
great
looking to
pass. Barely
This
missed
one
it.
gets through again to Tracy. He will go back to the pull shot. But taking
Oh
away here,
man,
it's trying to
fucking
pass.
Tony. I would love to. We don't see any body language from him, so we don't know. But I would love to know that. God, we saw this when he played with Todd when he lost the Worlds to whatchamacallit, Terry and Robbie. Todd was turning it over some to lose the match, and again, fuck, dude, you're in the match. It's 3-2. It's anybody's game, and your goalie turns it over to the 3-rod. Unacceptable, man.
By your match point. What a performance by Tommy Yore. And a timeout called here by Tony Spredeman. Spredeman puts the ball back into play.
Oh man, dirty.
Looking
Check
to
this
cut the
shit
lead
out
to one,
again.
then puts the ball
Just,
back.
God, he is using up like all. Let's check it out. So it's at 23-21 now. We get 10 seconds there. Let's see how long it takes for him to pass. So like 20 seconds.
Spredeman puts the ball back into play.
We're at 25 now. So 6 seconds. It seemed like a lot
cut the
longer.
lead to one. Spredeman and McMillan trailing 4-2 here in the fifth game as Tony sets it up.
Oh, again,
And
went
strokes it
back
home
to
near
that
side.
easy defense,
It
and
would be
Tony's like,
interesting to see
"Oh,
the stats
I remember
on that,
this.
'cause, like,
Hello, old
again,
friend."
The goalies.
It was nice to see you
biggest
again.
factor of them is just
I hope
making sure
that
they're keeping score accurate.
that other
It's
defense does
match
not
point
come
for
back to
Tommy
me.
Yore and Brandon Moreland, and I think it's something Clay Toomey perhaps will go back and do, and that is to chart the stats for this match, because they would be fascinating to see how often have you seen a guy shoot 80% over 5 games and not win the match. And I have to think that Tony has got to be in that area from the 3-rod against Moreland.
Just from observation, I mean, I think besides as well as Tommy Yore has been passing, he's did they get 2 goals already off of Tracy McMillan turnovers?
Yep. Can't have turnovers when
He's
you're
got some
playing
pickups.
badasses.
Otherwise, the match has been pretty clean. Not a lot of junk going in.
And that one angled in until then, Brad.
And again,
Not
that is
a
why
lot
I'm not a
of-
fan of having your guys like this, because that happens. But it teach his own. I mean, you have your guys in the standard with this guy, it's always coming at an angle. So angle, like if you put your guys like this, you're gonna get it. Like whatever. Personal preference. I'm not gonna knock Pro Masters, but that is like the only slop of the match, I think. One, like a misexecution finally.
And that one angled in until then, Brad Anderson, as the pass angled into the goal. And
Yeah,
what
like
a
Brandon's like,
performance
"Whew,
by
man,
Tommy
you're a
Yore
fucking
as he and his
badass.
partner
Damn,
Brandon
man, you
Moreland
lit my ass
to beat
up."
Tony Spredeman and
Oh,
Tracy
Tony,
McMillan to
you're
advance
so
to the
good.
winners bracket final. That was phenomenal.
And let's look at the final
Let's check it out.
statistics.
Look at the shooting percentage of Tony Spredeman, 83%, 19 of 23.
So these are ridiculous numbers, fucking ridiculous. And you're playing Pro Masters and you're shooting 80%, 60%. He's passing 70%. You guys realize this is like 70% is what, 7 out of 10 times. Clearing 50%, not good, man. Like that can't happen. Like you don't got to score or pass, but you cannot have 50% clearing. Oh man. Breaks. No breaks? Interesting shit, man. That was a lot of fun to watch. I felt like we learned a lot in terms of what we need to do in terms of adapting and changing our defense. It was great that we saw Tommy and Tony get back there every now and then to block each other to slow the other person down. Because we saw, I was like, hey man, you don't need to be a magician. You just need to know what that other person doesn't like to see. You need to make that other person guess. And I talk about it all the fucking time on my earlier videos is if I'm shooting a rollover, I don't like to see people move fast like that because it makes reading the pattern very, very hard. But that's just me. We got awesome series work from Tommy in terms of the hack, taking his time, the different options on both rides, just working the clock, quick shooting, the toe pin action, the timeouts. So the ability for Brandon to make that last adjustment in the last game was huge. That was the biggest block of the game. If you're gonna have what 4 blocks for the, I don't even think that's 4 because I think Tommy got back there and got 2. You blocked 3, Matt, like maybe 3. You blocked 3 in 5 games, but hey, man, that one was a big one. So great shit, man. This was an awesome match to watch too. It was awesome to just watch people just blow up defenses like they're fucking beginners. They're just teeing off world class foosball. I love it, man. I hope nobody takes anything personal. This is just reactions. We're trying to get better, talking a little bit of shit. All right, man. Mahalo, bitches.